Whoops, I forgot to unmute the mic. What's up, everybody? 9 a.m. on the dot. First time I'm on time for anything in my whole life, maybe. Season's greetings, good tidings, stuff like that. Welcome. Thanks so much for tuning in today. It's the Prez Holiday Invitational, baby. Gonna do a little Age of Empires action, Age of Empires Online action, like it's what 2011, something like that, 2012, the good old days, you know. So welcome, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna get right into the action here soon. Not gonna our players are ready. Zerton and Warlock Ant. That's gonna be our first matchup. I'm just gonna quick jump in, introduce the tournament a little bit, take a look at the rules, the format, who our players are, prizes, kind of run of show for today, and then we will get right into it. Awesome to see everybody in here. What up, Andy Pierce, Eaglery, Rex G, Game Video, Pharos. Big shout out to our mods today, Servamomia, Madlib, Weary Wout. Everybody's in here. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and for you guys who have been around, I think you'll be pleased with the brackets. I think it's pretty much all OGs except for one. So yeah, let's get right into it, guys. First I'm gonna go over to. Sorry for this ugly scene, by the way. These are the challenge brackets, but this is how it looks when I do a web page source. But here are our brackets for today, and I'm actually gonna refresh this since I officially started it on challenge. There we go. So here's a look at our players, guys. This was for this tournament. I guess for context here, and I'll put a disclaimer in case things go wrong today. Haven't done anything like this in a very long time. Excited to do it. Really stoked to do it. I've had a lot of fun putting it together and kind of remembering things and getting back into the swing of things. But I thought of I originally sat down and I was putting together a list of players. Like, oh, who could we get? Let's get all the OGs in here. And I had a list. I could have filled out a 32, probably a 32-man bracket, but I mean, that would just take forever, right? So maybe we'll start small and simple and doable for the first one. So here's our 8, guys. No, we're not going to play these series in order. We're going to play them a little out of order, but this is our round of 8 here. So we've got Zerton versus Warlock Ant. That's our first matchup. You got Give You Anxiety versus Striker, Recon versus Verhoover, and then Optimal Acorn versus Eerie. Again, we're going to play those in a slightly different order, but these are our players, guys. I'm really excited. A lot of high level, super competitive players in this bracket, so I'm really stoked. I don't even think I have a clear winner prediction here. This is going to be pretty sweet. I'm really excited for it. Going to take a quick look at the map pool and the rules here. So if you're really interested in the nitty-gritty of the tournament format and all the official rules and whatnot, you can either go to the bracket link, which is below the video player, or go to challenge.com/prezhi, like Holiday Invitational. They're also below the video player. But kind of the TLDR rules here. So like I said, 8-player single elimination. Easy format, right? No losers bracket, anything like that. The round of 8 is going to be a best of 3 series, starting with Oasis. So the first map for all of these series here, the round of 8, the semis, the third place, and the finals, they all have a first map, and the one for the round of 8 is Oasis. I know, probably not an orthodox pick, really small, crazy map, right? But did that for the sake of time, just to make sure we had time to get through everything today. Format after that, loser picks the map. So after the first game, loser picks the map, and until we have to until there's a winner of the series, right? Each player does get 1 map veto per series if they so choose. Also have a rule about playing at least 2 civs per series, so we can get a nice variety of civs played for this tournament. And lastly, any restart or any map imbalances or whatever, this Age of Empires, it happens sometimes with random maps, right? We'll restart to keep things fair. Map pool, I think this is an assortment from the old map pool, right? Didn't get any of the new maps in here this time, maybe for the next one, but we got Equal Footing, we got Oasis, Sheltered Pass, Treasure Island. Treasure Island is the first map for the semis, I believe. We've got Arabia, and that's the first map for the third place match as well as the finals. Great Lake, Bandit Canyon, Big Island, Mountain Crossing, and Coastal. So that is our map pool. What about prizes here? We're gonna take a look at the prizes. Oh my God, who just donated 150 bucks? Damn, Star of Night. All right, we'll get it out in just 1 second. Thank you so much, Star of Night. That's so awesome. That's a huge dono. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. We appreciate it. Oh, the bracket command isn't working. Okay, I will fix that. Thank you, Weary Wow. I guess the bracket command isn't working, but you can click for now. You can click on the challenge link below the video player. There we go. Yeah, Weary's got it in the chat. So the prize pool. Let's talk about the prize pool and the prizes for our players, right? So you know, I don't stream very often, right? And when I do, I certainly don't have donations on or anything like that. You know, this is not like a job for me or anything, just a casual for fun thing. However, I have turned on donations just for this stream so we can crowdfund this prize pool a little bit, right? So there's a couple ways to do that. You can go to Streamlabs. I think there's also a command for this, ! donate, and you can see what I'm talking about. You can do it in a couple ways. You can go to Stream. You can do it on Streamlabs, which, God, I hope I set it up right. I have a ticket out to them. Like, obviously the donations are going through. I just set up like credit card. But so we'll see, hopefully. Otherwise it'll be a lot of out of pocket for people. We'll see. Hopefully those are up right. So totally crowdfunded prize pool, guys. I got it started with 200 bucks. Erie in the Age Online PvP community kicked in another 100 bucks. Super happy and grateful for that. Thank you, guys. And then Star of Night just came through with 150 bucks, which is crazy. So we've got a $450 prize pool, and let me tell you guys, as a master XSplit stream producer here, you guys ready for this sick widget to determine the spread? Because if you guys are bad at math like I am, I needed this. So total prize. This is the payout percentages, right? First place, our champion is going to take home 50% of the pool. Our runner-up 30%, and our bronze player, our bronze medalist 20%. So here's my fancy Excel widget. Looks like first place is going to be 225 bucks. Second, 135. Third is 90 bucks. For the prize pool. That's and we'll keep updated on that as we get more donations and whatnot. Lastly, I don't have it listed explicitly on here, but do note that we're also doing a small bonus prize for the fan favorite series. So what we're gonna do, guys, at the end of each day, so this is a 2-day tournament, right? Today we're gonna get through the round of 8 and hopefully at least one semifinal series. And then tomorrow we're gonna finish the semifinals, we're gonna do the third place match, and we're gonna do the finals match. But at the end of both days, okay, we're gonna run a poll at the end of both streams, so 2 polls total, right? And the options are going to be all of the series that were played today, you know, starting with Zerton versus Warlock, right? And you guys are just going to vote for your favorite series, like which you liked the most, you know, which had the most action, which was the most fun to watch, whatever you enjoyed the most. And then the players that played in that series, so let's say Zerton and Warlock win today, right? They'll each get 25 bucks. So a little bonus prize just for being in the fan favorite series, and that's regardless of their overall tournament placement. You know, even if they go out in the first round. So we got a nice little bonus prize. The very last thing I want to talk about, a little something for our viewers here. So huge thank you to Andy Pierce and PF2K, or Project Celeste Extraordinaires. They have donated 7 of these Axe of the Ice Kings for a raffle today, or for between today and tomorrow. So I think what we'll probably do is maybe we'll run a raffle at the end of each series, maybe something like that. We'll at least do that today for the round of 8. So you know, you guys probably know more about this, and feel free to speak up in the chat if you know more about it than I do. Thank you for the follow, Optimal Acorn. I'm not much of a PvP player, but a PvE player or a PvP player lately. I'm not doing so great, but not much of a PvE player, but I am told that this item, like this legendary item here, this great axe, is like the most valuable item in the game right now. Something about 2 million coins, something like that. Thank you for the follow. Zale is here. So definitely, if you're interested in that, we'll be running raffles today. All you'll have to do is type !raffle in the chat, and you'll be entered. So, you know, we'll get plenty of heads up. Well, it's not running yet. Charky. But just note that that's coming today. And thank you for the follow. So with that, guys, let's make sure that our players are ready. So like I mentioned, our first match today is Zerton versus Warlock Ant. And they are playing Norse. This is going to be a Norse mirror for this first map, and it is going to be on Oasis. By the way, guys, one last thing I forgot to mention. So we are going to have a bunch of guest co-casters that I'm excited about come in and help me cast games. This first one, I'm just going to do solo just because we wanted to get this sucker started. Thank you for the follow, Mavax. We just want to get this started, but going to be joined after this by Star of Night. We're also going to get PF2K in here today as a co-caster, and Carnage, aka Trollurcules, is going to help cast the last round of 8 today. So we've got some guest co-casters. You're not just going to have to listen to me today. Get some age vets in here today as well. So let me double check my run of show, but I think that's it. I think that's it in terms of everything I wanted to introduce. We went over the format, the players, the rules, the maps. Check out the brackets. Donate if you want to, guys. No expectation, obviously, but donate if you want to contribute to the prize pool. Again, 100% of all the donations go towards the prize pool. And stick around for raffles. And lastly, it would be awesome if you could stick around through the end of the stream so we can vote on that fan favorite series and get some of these players an extra 25 bucks. That's it, I think, right? And so we're going to set up the game here. We might have to do some host juggling. We did earlier when we set up this game for a quick test, so bear with us, guys. Okay, Zerton wants to be green. Let me get their colors of choice here. Zerton green, Warlock is red. That's so very, very holiday-esque. And I'm gonna pick Oasis because that's the first map. All right, everybody, I need you all to collectively cross your fingers and toes for connection here. And here we go. Wait for it, wait for it. I know, I'm really excited, you guys. Pharos and Madrid and NVN is always exciting to see. Yes, agreed. Zonius, thank you for the follow. Oh, it worked. Hell yeah. All right, we're going to our in-game overlay here, guys. Let's go, baby. Oops. I got these guys backwards. Oh, I'm so bad. There we go. All right, everybody. This is our first game of the first tournament in a very long time. The Prez Holiday Invitational down south on Oasis. Very pretty Oasis. Very lush green Oasis today. Our red Norse player. He's Warlock Ant. Look at that beautiful town center. Up top. In green, also a Norse player, Norse Mirror today. If you played Age Online back in the day or involved in the community at all, you know his name. You've probably seen him on the first page of that Sparta PvP ladder. It's Mr. Zerton, one of the German sensations himself. Norse Mirror today, guys. Both guys chopping wood right off the bat. So we're going to see early barracks. Yep, there it is for Warlock. And looking for the barracks from Zerton. I'm assuming he's going to build one. I guess we'll see. Maybe he's going to make me look like a fool. Both guys on hunts as well. Zerton letting one of his scouts just hang out. Just hang out at home. You know, I was mentioning about, and there's the barracks for Zerton. One thing I was mentioning about, the scout was hanging out just to build. Shows what I know. One thing, you know, I mentioned about the map balance, map restarts in case there's any kind of imbalances. These players have up to the first 2 minutes to call for one, and I'm keeping an eye out as well. If you guys see anything in the chat that's obviously bad, let me know as well, and we'll get these guys a map restart just to be fair. But hopefully we don't have too many of those today. Hey guys, let's be cool with language in the chat. Barracks down for Warlock Ant. Gonna see some spearmen coming out. Really excited to see what I don't really know what to expect in terms of meta for Norse versus Norse. I don't know, and I guess take everything I say today with a grain of salt. You know, obviously I used to live and breathe this game. It's been a little while since I've been out of the game. You know, I'm not really up to the meta, and I haven't kept up with the balance changes and all the awesome changes that PF2K and the Celeste gang have made, which I'd love to talk about a little bit later. So take everything I say with a big grain of salt. And for those of you who are more in the know in the meta, I would love to get your feedback in chat as well. But not really. Norse is, I think, above all, like such a creative civ to play, right? Because they have this crazy different mechanic where their infantry can build production facilities and guard towers and fortresses. So you get a lot of like crazy unorthodox, forward buildings. They've got war dogs coming out of the watch post. Like they're very, very interesting civ. And also, incredible infantry and incredible cav. Like raiders are crazy good, especially because they're one pop. Like they're just extremely pop efficient. Not to mention really fast too. So, just a very like melee oriented civ, I guess you could say. So I imagine we're going to see lots of raiders, and we'll see a whole lot of infantry as well. I'm guessing throwing axemen, but we'll see. Very sweet vanity gear here on Zerton Spearman. Uh-oh, he walked his Spearman a little far forward. Got some extra free hits from Warlock Ant, but see a little bit of Spearman micro here as Zerton micros back his hurt Spearman. There goes one of Warlock Ant's. I think it's 3 on 5 now, right? Yeah, so Warlock's gonna have to back away. Nice micro by Zerton. Zerton has clicked up to age 2. Warlock is not. He's actually dropping villagers, and he's not gathering enough wood either, so his build is a little bit out of whack here. And Zerton's actually going to come forward and dock on Oasis too. So we didn't talk about the map much, guys. I'm assuming most people watching are aggressive animals, my least favorite thing. But I'm assuming most people watching are pretty familiar with Age Online. But if not, we are playing on the map Oasis, and it is pretty sure it's the smallest map in the map pool. There's water in the middle. It's shallows, obviously, so land units can walk across it. But it can also be docked, so you do sometimes see a trireme out here. And people fishing on it as well. Not a ton of fish patches, but any fishing is an advantage, right? Warlock is able to deny the first dock, but Zerton's just going to go ahead and rebuild it. I like this play, very aggressive. You're out in the middle, you're getting map control, and again, the economic boost that you can get from fishing is pretty nice. Not to mention, it being such a small map, obviously the middle is the fastest way across, so if you can get like a trireme, or can't remember what the Norse ships are called, but a galley or any kind of that like age 2 ship out in the middle, right? Like those ships do splash damage, and they do just generally high DPS in general. I don't know if they've been tuned at all in any of the Celeste package balance patches, but that's a lot of extra land damage if there's an engagement in the middle by that ship. So big economic and military and map control advantage. Zerton continuing to push forward with these spearmen. Might even come down and knock Warlock off this hunt. I'm going to quick check their stones. Do we have any stone being gathered by Warlock? No fast TC from him. And no fast TC from Zerton either. They're actually opting to go additional production facilities instead, which I love to see. They're going to make this a really aggressive game. Makes sense. Like, fast TC in general is kind of it's a little bit of a risk, right? Because you're foregoing, military to and gathering other resources. So you can get, the very, very expensive, pay the very expensive cost of a town center. But on a map like Oasis, where it's so small, like, you can get punished for greed very, very easily. It's just a short trek across the pond to your opponent's base. Still see just a mass amount of spearmen, and they're starting to mix in throwing axemen as well. They look very similar here. I can't tell them too well apart. So as I expected, kind of a infantry-based army. This is interesting. Warlock's actually putting down an archery range, and maybe somebody in the chat knows better than I do. I'm actually not sure I understand this decision, because Norse and H2 don't get bowmen, right? They get skirmishers, which are only good against other ranged units. So yeah, it is going to be a little extra DPS for sure, but they are not going to counter anything that Zerton is building. Zerton, meanwhile, is putting down another barracks as well. No stables out for anybody yet, I don't think. Yeah, not that I see. Yeah, and there's the skirmishers coming out. Interesting. So this is already we're seeing these players their play style is diverging quite a bit. I wouldn't have expected to see an archery range. We'll see how this plays out. But again, like, let's take a look at the skirmisher stats. Only 5 DPS does have a fat bonus versus range, like a 3.5 multiplier, right? So if he was playing a civ with like a slinger or a bowman, a tox, something like that. skirms are an okay choice, although even then I'd probably rather build raiders, to be honest. But we've got skirms in this army, so we'll see. I mean, they will probably, you know, hang out behind the melee army, right, and offer some extra range DPS. We're gonna have to see how that works out. Unorthodox choice, I think. Meanwhile, Zerton, he does have one fishing boat out, a couple more coming out as well. It's probably going to stop at about 3 because, again, it looks like there are only 4 patches of fish. But, you know, that's pretty big, right? That's a pretty big food advantage here. We are going to see an engagement. So the skirms are doing DPS from behind. But I'm worried that the meat line of Warlock is not going to last too long, especially because he's only got a handful of throwing axemen here. Zerton seems to have the overwhelming numbers. Yeah, this is a scary push. I don't know what Warlock's going to do about this, to be honest. He is starting to gather stone, so maybe he can put down some guard towers or something defensively, but this push from Zerton, he's also 20 pop behind right now. Like, Zerton just has kind of an overwhelming lead here. 32 villagers to 28, so up on villagers, up on pop. Much bigger army size, and he is in the middle fishing. This is scary. I wonder if he's going to end the game right here. I mean, he is fighting under town center fire, so that town center is doing some constant DPS to Zerton's army, but I think he might just be able to sit here under this TC and start going after the villagers gathering in the base. He's off. He is going to put down a defensive guard tower here, yeah, and that's going to help a lot, but I don't know if it'll help enough. Zerton, interestingly, he's opting to go straight for the production. He's not going to come forward and snipe the villagers of Warlock Ant. He's just going to start chopping down the production like, hey, you can't defend this attack with no units. And I think that was Warlock's only barrack. No, he does have one more barracks. But he's only producing out of 2 production facilities, already down a lot in army supply. I wonder if this is a death push from Zerton right now. Villagers going down now as well, down to 29 to the 38 of Zerton. So even if he doesn't clinch the game right here, he's going to have a huge economic advantage. This guard tower is going to go down as well. Warlock unable to repair it enough in time. And that's it. Wow, strong push from Zerton. And I don't even think necessarily that fishing advantage is, the fishing advantage had really kicked in yet. I mean, he did have 4 fishing boats at the end, but strong push from Zerton. We can have a quick look at the post-game stats here. Let's see, yeah, even in a really short game, that was 9 minutes. Huge, like a large resources gathered lead here by Zerton. So really good macro, strong opener. I don't think we saw any armory techs that game. Did build 6 more villagers as well. Yeah, I think I don't know. What do you guys think about that archery range choice from Warlock? Talk about that for a second. I am going to go back to the lobby screen because we're gonna get the new Civ choices and the map as well. So we'll get their map choice as well. Pharaoh saying, small map, best player with aggressive civs. Of course, it was fast. Zerton is very, very good. Greeky said, no reason to get the archery range. That's kind of what I was thinking as well. Oh, you know what I should do, by the way? Well, I guess it's too late now. It was a Norse mirror. I should have put on some Norse music here. We'll play some Norse music anyway, just because they have such a badass soundtrack. I can veto at any time. Yes, you can veto after choice if you wish. Oh, Warlock's asking for the maps. Okay, sorry. Let me do a little copy and paste here. We might just have a couple minutes between rounds, just while we get things set up. Bear with us. Celt Song 10 or Riot. All right, I'll put that on after this. Nerf wolves. I agree with you. I don't like the aggressive animal serve. I feel like I'm on my soapbox about the animals and the dock, you know, and the fishing, how fishing boats have an attack and repair the dock. But I won't burden you guys with that today. Maybe. Obviously I can't promise that. Oh, and I guess I need to update the score, don't I? So the score is now 1-0. Oops, that's an exclamation point. That's 1-0 for Zerton. 1-0. And remember, this is a best of 3 in the round of 8. So if Zerton is able to win this next game, then he's going to take the first series of this tournament. Yeah, Pharos, but at least boars they're not aggressive, right? Like, you have to choose to attack boars. Really, Rakim? Dang it. I wonder how Star was able to donate. Oh, we did get a donation. So all the Venmo and Cash App ones I need to add manually. But we did get a donation for Mr. Andy Pierce, so let's add this. Sorry, guys. I don't really know how to do... I was hoping I didn't mess it up, but I guess I did. I was able to test it myself by donating to Streamlabs, and it went through. Oh, well. Sorry, guys. But here we go. We did get this donation from Andy Pierce. Thank you so much for contributing. That's $4.65 now. All right, so Warlock. Oh, let's see if we get a veto from Zerton. Warlock just shows the map. The Janks, thank you so much for the follow. Waiting for Warlock Civ, and then we will get going. We have our map. The next map is going to be Treasure Island, guys. Another awesome map. Maybe I can have a quick, while we're waiting for Warlock, he said he just needs a minute. Maybe while we have a little bit of downtime, I'll look at the donations. I don't know what I'm doing, though. Oh, PC Nerd is now hosting. Thank you so much. I don't know why that alert went off. I turned off hosting alerts, to be honest, because obviously I didn't make them, I didn't make them very pretty. Let's see if I can turn that off really quick. Oh, they all turned back on. Of course they did. Sorry, guys. I admittedly procrastinated. I've stayed up very late the last 2 nights setting most of this up. And it looks like I missed some things, although I definitely turned those off last night. All right, whatever. Just waiting for this whisper, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I know. That's why I did the credit card option, because it wanted me to set up a PayPal business account, and like I don't have a business name or anything, so I just like was hoping that the regular credit card option would work, and I was able to successfully test it. But if that doesn't work, then I know it's not ideal, but I guess we'll just have to do Venmo and Cash App instead. So I will, those won't pop up on stream automatically until I manually insert them, like I just did with Andy Pierce, so they will be a little bit behind. But I guess we'll just have to do Venmo and Cash App for today. I'll try to get it working for tomorrow's stream, sorry. Wait, oh, Warlock, sorry. He's supposed to tell me what Civ. Sorry, I think we have a little bit of rule confusion. We'll get into this next game ASAP. Yeah, it told me I did the Ace because I tried to sign in with my regular PayPal and it said I needed a business one. So yeah, unfortunately, I think just for today, Venmo or Cash App. Sorry, guys. What is tattoo time? What does that mean, Pharos? All right, I'm gonna go back to the capital city here. Okay, here we go. We have our civs, so let's invite our players. Nice. So, guys, we are going to have Celt versus Egypt on Treasure Island. Let's get this set up here. The Ace, hello. Hallis, what's up? Long time no see. Minimo, long time no see. Hello, hello. Hey, Recon. All right, guys. I think with that, we're ready. Sorry for the delay. We're going to go ahead and start this game. Again, cross your fingers and toes for connection issues. Or for none of them, rather. Thank you for the follow. Sweet kill. Leet sweet kill, even. Nice. I don't know anything about this matchup. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Celt versus Egypt. Are we going to see a slinger war? That would be cool. I mean, I feel like just camels are just so fun, though. Like, so fast and so fun to use as Egypt. I feel like everybody makes camels no matter what. Like, I didn't play a lot of Egypt, but I love opening with camels. Thank you for the host, BBA Cog. Why are my host alerts still on? Oh my gosh. I've turned them off a million times in Streamlabs. Sorry that's so ugly. I'm embarrassed. Zeus! Thanks for the follow. And sorry, our arena game is hanging here, so we might have to switch hosts. I'm so sorry this is taking so long. Tournament woes. This is probably a good thing. It doesn't go too fast because we do have to wait a little bit for our next players anyway. So this is good that we're killing some time. So I'm gonna have Zerton try to host now. I remember this back for the Games for Windows Live's days too. We just had to play musical chairs with the host until it worked sometimes. All right, he's made a game. Let's hope that works. There we go. We did it. And let me change the score here too. It's 1-0. All right. Here we go, guys. Game 2 of our first tournament series, Zerton versus Warlock Ant. We are on Treasure Island for this one. Down south, our Celt player, Zerton, who is already up 1-0 in the series here, just has to take one more to win the best of 3 and move on to the semifinals. And up top, in the yellow, Warlock Ant. He is down 1-0 after an aggressive Oasis beating by Zerton. He is our yellow Egypt player, Mr. Warlock Ant. So Treasure Island. Oh, and check it out if you haven't come back for a while. They buffed the Egypt Scout attack speed, so it no longer takes 15 minutes to kill your first hunt. Isn't that nice? I like that change. And interesting, we have a very fast barracks coming down for Warlock Ant. Fast barracks down for Zerton as well. I'm gonna take a guess here, and maybe if we have any Egyptian players in the chat, they can confirm or deny what I'm saying here. But when you're Egypt, like, you don't want to have to build a barracks. You know, like, Egyptian spearmen are very, very bad. Like, they become interesting and useful later in the game with Egyptian champion, and they don't cost gold. And there are scenarios where you'll want to spam spearmen, you know. But in general, like, I think you're usually trying to open with the camels, right, and start raiding with your super fast cav. But the Celt player, like, Celt players are almost always going to spearman rush, right? Like, they just have these fast, awesome spearmen, and plus they want their racks for H2 and beyond anyway. So as Egypt, I think this is mostly just like a, hey, I got to build a racks or just in case, or I die to a spearman rush. But I don't think any Egyptian player, like on Arabia or a big map, you know, big island, something like that, I don't think they're ever gonna be stoked about building barracks. Does that sound about right? Is any Egyptian players around to agree with me or tell me I'm full of crap? See if and yeah, that's what I mean. Game video. I think you just got to build them, or else you might die against the Celt player. Look at how fast those spearmen are. Also, spearmen looking awesome. Look at that vanity gear. I can dig it. I love the helmets on Zerton's units. We don't have anybody going on water yet. Lots of water on this map. Lots of fish. Lots of coastline, and of course the treasure island. You can't see it because it hasn't been scouted, but there are likely a couple of gold mines and a couple of stone mines on here. Plus, everybody's favorite thing to do is build a wonder on the treasure island. Zerton on hunts. Pretty good hunts here from Zerton, starting his house wall as well, and he is going to cross the map with a larger group of spearmen. He's got 7 spearmen here. Warlock Ant has 6 of his own waiting. He is almost done with this hunt, so fortunately, even if he gets kicked off here, he's almost done with the food. And Zerton's gonna back away, wait for some more spearmen to rally over. Wolves in the way, gotta love it. So your favorite thing to see when you're trying to spearman rush are rabid animals in your way. One thing I want to point out, look at Zerton getting hunting dogs nice and early. So this is a pretty significant change in my opinion from the old game. If you guys haven't played in a while. Hunting dogs in, later on in Age of Empires Online, when it was still, officially supported and whatnot, you almost never saw it, right? Or you at all, or if so, like later in the game, because it was very expensive. I think it was 150 wood as opposed to the 75 that it is now. So obviously, and wood is. It's hard to come by at the start of the game, right? Like you're desperate to get your production up. 150 wood and hunting dogs is just like not a great investment. I think most players thought back in the day. However, now it is 75 wood, so it's much cheaper to get, and it adds conservation. I can't remember how much. 25% conservation. So I think that essentially means you're getting 25% more food with hunting dogs, right? Maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about that. But it adds conservation, so your hunts stick around longer. So you will often see players like, Zerton just did, get hunting dogs even before they age up. So hunting dogs, much different, much better tech now. Zerton's still out on the map with his 12 spearmen here, and he's got a lot. Like, Warlock's only got 6 over here to defend. However, he does have Axemen coming out. Axemen, of course, are anti-infantry units, so they will make quick work of these spearmen, but probably not only one. He's going to need some more. Warlock trying to kite Zerton's army back into his town center fire, but I don't think Warlock's going to go for it. He's going the long way around with 6 of these villagers. They're going to get caught by a spearman and longswordsman too, so he might lose one, and even if he doesn't, this is a lot of lost gathering time. And oh no, the villagers actually stop for a moment, taking some free shots from the infantry. And they are going to get home safely, but not without a lot of lost gathering time. 6 villagers. And you can see he's feeling it. 9 food to his name right now. Another barracks going down, and a second town center from Warlock Ant. Meanwhile, Zerton's second town center is going down right now as well. Not quite as fast as Warlock's, but pretty comparable. And the difference between these two, look, this is a very defensive TC. Like, Warlock is actually on his berries right now. Zerton, a very aggressive forward TC placement, taking a very forward gold here. Look, I like this play. Another barracks going down for Zerton as well. So he is at 2 racks. No armory yet and no dock yet. Not that I see anyway. And Zerton very wisely making sure that Warlock isn't sneaking a dock as well. Another barracks going down for Warlock as well. So I'm not choosing to get a stable for camels quite yet. So at this point, at least while these players stay in H2, I imagine we're going to see a Axeman versus Longswordsman battle. Now again, chat, keep me honest, in a straight up fight, I think a group of Longswordsmen are going to beat a group of Axemen. I think they have a little bit higher DPS and higher health. However, I think where that matchup and that dynamic changes is in Age 3 when Egypt gets Axeman Champion and they get a couple of buffs, including splash damage. And I think at that point, the Axemen start to trade much, much, much better with Longswordsmen. Remember, this Celt infantry is so fast, folks. What is their movement speed? I think it's 6. It's 7. That's right. It's 7. So he's going to head out and do a little bit of raiding with a pretty big group of units here. 13 units. Meanwhile, Warlock crossing the map with his own group of 12 units. Not a lot at home. There's enough at home. There's enough at home to defend. And let's see what Zerton's able to get done with this big group of infantry units. He's going to walk right past that town center and go into the wood line of Warlock Ant. So Warlock is forced to pull villagers here, lose some more gathering time, and he is going to lose a villager as well. Probably not much more damage than that. Villager count, 36 for Zerton, 32 for Warlock. So Warlock is down 4 villagers. Not to mention he did lose quite a bit of gathering time. A couple idle villagers here as well. Got to get those guys back to work. Warlock is looking to do some damage of his own. Big group of infantry here, 17 units. 12 axemen. But big old group of longswordsmen at home. Zerton opting also to start putting up some archery ranges as well. So Celt slingers are pretty good. They do a lot of DPS. When I play Celt, unsuccessfully obviously, I love to do a big old Celt slinger ball with druids, but Slinger's going to offer some DPS from behind, and more importantly, if Zerton does manage to sneak into H3 soon, he's going to want those archery ranges anyway for Celt bowmen, which are very, very good. Warlock picking up a storehouse. Zerton still active on the map with his own small group of spearmen, and we are going to see a little bit of an engagement here. Actually, Warlock is probably hoping that there isn't, right? Because there's no way he's going to take these units. Also, a lot of these units are very hurt for Warlock. I think Zerton might very wisely run some of these units down and see how many he can pick off. I think Warlock, a little bit of an overextension there. Pops are getting a little bit scary as well. Like, Zerton's up to 96 population, 46 of those being villagers, only 73 for Warlock, and 40 of those being villagers. So he is down 6 villagers. I missed a little bit of a raid up here, but Warlock able to fend that off. Don't think he lost any villagers. Nice watch post down. And there's the Silver Age for Warlock. I missed that temple of, is it Ta for the third? No, Temple of Set. Missed that temple going down. So Warlock actually snuck to age 3 somehow, well before Zerton. Now, if I'm Zerton, I think this might trigger an attack, because that's a big investment to go to H3. I think Zerton already seen most of the Warlock army. He's got to know he has a bigger army. Plus, he's invested much more in his army, so we're seeing a push. Axeman Champion coming down right away. 15% health, 10% damage, and that splash damage that I'm talking about. So if I'm Warlock right now, and I think Warlock is going to try to hang back with these Axemen and non-engage, he might even have to sacrifice a barracks or some houses or villagers, but he's not going to want to engage until Axeman Champion finishes. I think that's the only way he's going to stand a chance in this fight. He's trying to hold off. If I'm him, I wait. You're so close to having Axeman Champion finish. He's down to only 18. He lost a lot of them there. This upgrade just taking so long to finish. There it goes. It finally goes down. But is it going to be enough? He just doesn't have a lot of units. However, does have defender's advantage. Axeman pumping out of 2 barracks here. 3 barracks, actually. Or 4 barracks in a moment. Only two are finished. It looks like he actually might be able to hold this off. I was a little bit scared for him, but that Axeman, I think it was that Axeman Champion upgrade. It popped, and he's able to clean up that meat line of all the longswordsmen from our Celt player, Zerton. Zerton has not clicked to age up yet, so he is staying in H2. And continuing to pump out slingers, long swordsmen, and some druids as well. Druids, of course, giving that health and attack buff, right? I'm not imagining an attack buff. I know they heal. And there's the H3 from Zerton. It's on the way. So Zerton's probably going to back off. We'll see if he follows my rule of you never attack while you're aging up. But Zerton doesn't need to listen to me. We'll see. See this very sprawling forward base for a Celt player here. He's also... Oh, I thought he was going to put down a dock, but not quite. Yeah, he's just... Why not do some recreational fishing on Treasure Island here? That's nice. That looks like a good time. More watch posts going down from Warlock. Love the map vision that he has. Meanwhile, Warlock's starting a farm transition. I'm kind of surprised that well, he should be on these hunts here instead of the berries first. Of course, hunts gather much faster, right? But I'm kind of surprised that neither player has gone for a dock yet. I guess both have been very active on the map, and especially with the knowledge that Zerton's army is going to be so much more mobile at 7 speed although slowed down a little bit by the Druid. There's Silver Age for Zerton, immediately starting Long Swordsman Champion, which does give a fair amount of infantry armor there. Also getting, interesting, his first armory upgrade, unless I missed one, yes, first armory upgrade he's getting is that Barbed Arrow, so pierce damage. And I imagine that's because he's pumping out Bowmen, yeah. So Bowmen are going to be his primary source of DPS and buffed quite nicely by that armory upgrade. I don't believe we have an armory down for Warlock. Yeah, no armory that I see. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on. That could be a big advantage if you don't play a lot or you're newer to the game. Armory upgrades are significant, right? Like, look at that, 20. He's getting extra 20% pierce damage from that. So that's countered only by getting pierce armor. Your opponent getting pierce armor. But armory upgrades quickly start to make a significant difference. Like, if you fall behind 2 or 3 armory upgrades, you are gonna have a tough time winning fights. Stable's going down now for Warlock Ant, so he will start to be able to build camels, or since he is an H3, he could opt for Chariot Archers as well. As someone who doesn't play a lot of Egypt, but plays against Egypt quite a bit, Chariot Archers are just the bane of your existence when you're playing against Egypt. They are pretty fast, they have a ranged attack, and it's just lethal, right? Like a big group, not even that big of a group of Chariot Archers can come in, and if it catches a big group of villagers, even for a couple of seconds, you're gonna have a bad time. Talking about armory upgrades, Zerton immediately starting Broadhead Arrows, which is the age 3 pierce attack upgrade. So he did just get the H2 one, which is plus 20% pierce damage, and he's getting 20% more. So you can see like what a significant difference that's gonna make. Like, these bowmen are gonna be doing so much damage. And Warlock, without an armory, has not started any upgrades, obviously, including pierce armor. So these like pierce attack units from Zerton's army are gonna do so much damage. Now he is starting to sprinkle in slingers as well, which is good. If you can do some sweet micro and slinger tagging, that's going to help a lot to clean up some of that bowman count. Zerton crossing the map with a group of slingers. I almost wonder if he's looking to get rid of this population and refill it with bowmen. But we'll see. Big group of units coming down here. Our villagers coming to gather some stone and gold. Let's have a look at the villager counts, by the way. Oh, I'm missing a small engagement. Zerton running his slingers in. It's either a mistake or he really does want to clean up that bot. Villager counts for our players, 88 for Zerton, 51 for Warlock. Warlock, what happened? I think he just must have stopped building villagers for a minute. Zerton does have his 3rd town center up as well, which I don't... Oh, here's one from Warlock. Sorry, I'm missing a lot. A little rusty on the casting and observing. But that is a huge villager difference. 54 to 88. He's down 34 villagers. Like, Warlock is not going to last very long unless he is able to do some significant economic damage to Zerton quickly. And the armor, I'm so worried for this first engagement. Like, infantry armor is going down, infantry attack going down as well. Looks like we have a double armory from Zerton, and I don't think we have a single armory upgrade from Warlock yet. So I mean, this attack, even if he's up on pop, which he's not, he's also down 40 pop, like a significant amount. I just don't see it. I don't see how he's going to win a fight with these armory upgrades. Meanwhile, Zerton getting a lot of value out of these slingers that he might even just be trying to kill. Getting a lot of villagers on the gold mine there. And they're so fast. 8 speed on slingers. Wow. Are they faster than I remember? Meanwhile, Warlock, he's choosing to move into Zerton's base now. I don't know if he knows how many villagers he's down, but I think this is the right play. You got to do something to try to get back in this game. However, look at these bowmen with their huge bows. Wow, awesome gear. Just doing so much damage. Like, as I hover over, look at those armor upgrades. So many, while Warlock has none. Still no armory. He is building camel riders now. He is building more Axeman Champion. And he is going to get a nice pickup on a bunch of villagers here from Zerton. That's going to be good. Help even things out a bit. 85 to 49. I don't think Warlock is just replenishing his villagers at all. Yeah, there are none in queue. Doesn't have a lot of his economic upgrades as well. No wheelbarrow, no loom. Yeah, this is looking scary from Zerton. Meanwhile, Zerton's chasing Warlock's entire army down into the corner of the map, almost trapping them there. Warlock very wisely backing away, but he's getting so many units picked off here. And look at these armory upgrades from Zerton. The continuing immediately jumps into age 3 infantry armor, age 3 pierce armor, and age 3 infantry attack. He's going to be maxed on his age 3 techs. Like, that's significant. Camel Rider champion coming. These slingers just continuing to do so much damage in the wood line of Warlock Ant. He's down to 52 villagers to the 85 of Zerton. Finally replenishing these villagers. We see some in queue, but woof. Zerton's he's got a pretty strong command of this game right now. More and more stables going down for Warlock Ant as well. Starting to mix in Camel Riders and Chariot Archers. Finding another storehouse from Warlock, and if he goes up a little bit more, he's going to see another 12 villagers, 13 villagers. Woof. Also, look at the mini-map, guys. Like, look at the map control that Zerton has. Like, there's one watch post up here that Zerton's watch post is also keeping an eye on, but that's it. Like, Warlock doesn't know anything about what's going on in the map, and Zerton is able to just get out there and gather whatever he wants. We see plenty of storehouses on the map here. And Warlock's going to stand and fight, and I think Zerton's going to be able to take it here. Just 33, like, fully upgraded bowmen in the back, just raining down pierce damage. Celt Horsemen are so good, too. Excuse me, so beefy and just beating up on those camels. And despite having a little bit of pierce attack in the back, not enough for Warlock Ant, and Warlock Ant taps. GG. Very well played by both players. That fast H3 from Warlock surprised me, but Zerton just so efficient with that macro. Like, let's take a look at the gathering. Oh my gosh. Look at that resources gathered. Not a super long game, right? Just over 18 minutes. And out gathering him by close to 20,000 resources. Like, that is pretty nutty. And as we go to the techs as well, yeah. Woof. Those armory upgrades from Zerton, as well as the economic upgrades as well. I'm pretty sure he's got all of the storehouse techs, yeah. He's got pretty much everything you can research right now, and doing a great job. I didn't even comment on this, but getting his market lineup as well, preparing for the late game. Just pretty flawless play from Zerton there. Well played by Warlock. Like, thank you for participating and playing here. You got a tough. I mean, nobody wants to get Zerton in the first round. You know, that's tough. GG. So with that, let me say thanks to Warlock for playing. So Zerton is going to be our first player to move on to the semifinals. Zerton's locked it in. So with that, let's take a couple of minutes to set up our next game here and check Discord and all that. I will check donos in a moment as well. Bear with me, guys. So let's go back to the lobby scene. And do a very good job of preparing these scenes. So Zerton is our winner. We'll update the score here if XSplit lets me. There we go. Oh, I see another donation. Thank you, KazMX. So that's weird. So somebody is able to donate through Streamlabs. I don't get it. But thank you so much, KazMX. Really appreciate the 10 that's contributed to the prize pool. Let me start to wrangle the next players here. So our next series, you guys, is going to be Optimal Acorn versus Eerie.